Travel back in time with 20 hit songs from the 1950s we will never forget. Get ready for a whirlwind tour of the songs that rocked jukeboxes, swayed dance floors, and defined a decade. From Elvis's electrifying hits to Little Richard's wild energy, these classics remain as memorable as ever. Ready to relive the magic? Poor Little Fool. Ricky Nelson, 1958. Starring our 50s list with Poor Little Fool by Ricky Nelson, a 1958 hit that's as unforgettable as teenage heartbreak. Written by a 15-year-old Sharon Sheeley, because who else could pen a heartache anthem? The song is drenched in youthful drama, inspired by her brief romance with Don Everly of the Everly Brothers. The story behind the song is just as iconic. Sheeley pretended her car broke down to get Nelson to record it. The result? A recording on April 17, 1958, that soared to sell over 2 million copies and become the first ever #1 on Billboard's Hot 100. Released on June 23, 1958, this emotional roller coaster held the top spot for 2 weeks, proving that Nelson's smooth vocals paired perfectly with Sheeley's knack for storytelling. Your Cheatin' Heart, Hank Williams, 1952. Coming in at number 19 is another heartbreak anthem, Your Cheatin' Heart, by Hank Williams. A song that defined country music long before it was cool. This ultimate country classic was written in 1952 while Williams was driving with his fiancée, probably contemplating the roller coaster that was his first marriage. Recorded on September 23, 1952, during what would be his last session at Castle Studio in Nashville, it dropped in January 1953, just after Williams's untimely death. Timing. The track shot to the top of Billboard's country and western chart for 6 weeks, selling over 1 million copies and becoming the bittersweet swan song of a legend. With its raw emotion and timeless melody, Your Cheatin' Heart became Williams's signature piece, covered by artists from Joni James to Ray Charles. It's no wonder it ranks high on just about every greatest songs list out there, reminding us that nobody does heartache quite like Hank. Only You and You Alone. The Platters, 1955. The Platters' doo-wop gem, Only You and You Alone, ranks 18th on our list. This 1955 classic, originally recorded in 1954 but released in April 1955, features the group's smooth harmonies and Tony Williams' velvety vocals, transforming it into sheer magic. Despite a rocky start, its release in June 1955 moved it to #1 on the R&B charts for 7 weeks and remained on the Billboard Hot 100 for 30 weeks. With over 1 million copies sold and a 1999 Grammy Hall of Fame nomination, Only You remains a heartfelt, timeless treasure. I Walk the Line, Johnny Cash, 1956. At number 17, we have Johnny Cash's 1956 classic I Walk the Line, which took country music by storm. This was Cash's first number. One hit, which was recorded on April 2nd at Sun Studio in Memphis and released on May 1st. The song immediately became popular due to its distinctive boom chicka boom sound and heartfelt lyrics. It sold over 2 million copies and remained on the charts for an incredible 43 weeks. It was inspired by Cash's Air Force days in Germany, where he played with a tape recorder and became a vow of loyalty to Cash's first wife, Vivian Liberto. I Walk the Line remains an iconic piece of country music, proving that Cash's timeless blend of honesty and rhythm can withstand the test of time. It was also featured in movies such as the Joaquin Phoenix biopic in 2005 and the Gregory Peck movie in 1970. Mac the Knife, Bobby Darin, 1959. At number 16, we've Bobby Darin's 1959 hit, Mac the Knife, which transformed a cutthroat crook right into a charming villain. Kurt Weill and Bertolt Brecht wrote this song for the Threepenny Opera in 1928, and it tells the story of McKeith, a famous criminal. However, Darin's jazzy flair and a December 1958 recording session converted it into a swinging anthem. The track soared to primary at the Billboard Hot 100 and the UK charts, promoting more than 3 million copies. It even received 2 Grammys, proving that a little crime, set to the right beat, can go a long way. Darren's version is still considered the gold standard, thanks to its catchy melody and dark humor, which have kept it popular for decades. Tequila, The Champs, 1958. At number 15, we have Tequila by The Champs, a 1958 smash that showed how one word can get a party going. This Latin-inspired tune hit the airwaves on January 15, 1958. Nobody expected it to become popular. It was just the flip side of Train to Nowhere, but a Cleveland DJ changed everything. Tequila shot to the top of the Billboard Hot 100 and R&B charts, even reaching number 1 in Canada. With its catchy sax riff and that famous shout of tequila. Logically, the song sold over 3 million copies. It also won a Grammy for Best Rhythm and Blues Performance. The track didn't just top charts, it became part of our culture. In 2001, it joined the Grammy Hall of Fame. You'll hear tequila everywhere, from jukeboxes to movie soundtracks to the start of a wild night out. It's our ever-present, timeless toast. Fever, Peggy Lee, 1958. At number 14, Fever by Peggy Lee turns up the heat. This 1958 jazz hit still makes hearts race. Eddie Cooley and John Davenport wrote it first. But Lee didn't just sing it, she changed it. She added her own words, making it flirty and sexy. They recorded Fever on May 19, 1958, and put it out in June. It's a perfect example of how less can be more when you want to seduce. You hear a bass, some finger snaps, and Lee's smooth voice. The song climbed to number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100. It stayed there for 12 hot weeks. It also got 3 Grammy nods, including one for Record of the Year. Fever gives clever shout-outs to famous couples like Romeo and Juliet. It became the song people knew Lee for. It mixes charm and sex appeal in a way that still shapes how artists sing today. Chantilly Lace, The Big Bopper, 1958. Landing at spot number 13, we've got Chantilly Lace by The Big Bopper, a hit from 1958 that's super catchy and full of fun. This tune hit the airwaves back in August '58 and nailed the vibe of a flirtatious convo over the phone, with the Big Bopper's deep tone serenading about lace and a pretty face. Even though it started off as the lesser-known B-side, it climbed real quick to number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100. It hung out in the top 40 for 22 weeks and snagged the title of the year's 3rd most spun track. Crossing the million mark in sales, Chantilly Lace snagged a gold disc, and it's still a total gem of a song, keeping the Big Bopper's energetic essence kicking even after his way too soon goodbye. Summertime Blues, Eddie Cochran, 1958, ranked at 12th place. Eddie Cochran's Summertime Blues is a 1958 rock anthem with a rebellious twist that captures what it's like to be a teen frustrated with life. This tune dropped in July 1958, and Cochran, with his manager Jerry Capehart, managed to put to music the feelings of a kid stuck working a summer gig wanting some freedom. They laid down the track at Gold Star Studios on March 28, 1958, and its hooky chorus plus Cochran's killer guitar licks turned it into an immediate success. It climbed its way to number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100. After selling 1 million copies, Summertime Blues turned into a rock and roll masterpiece, and its legacy got even bigger following Cochran's sad death in 1960. The song's enduring charm, along with Cochran serving up some real energy, keeps it super relevant to folks of all ages, sealing its status as one of the standout tunes of the 50s. Yakety Yak, The Coasters, 1958. At spot 11, Yakety Yak from The Coasters hit the scene in '58 with some serious rock and roll vibes. Teens and their folks going head-to-head over housework is what this tune's all about. Jerry Lieber and Mike Stoller, those music legends, penned this one and nailed it. The catchy line, "Yakety yak, don't talk back," turned into a battle cry for the young rebels out there. Released in April 1958 and soared right to the top of the R&B and Billboard Hot 100 lists. It's a track that got over 1 million peeps to grab a copy, and it's still rockin'. In 1999, it landed itself a trophy spot in the Grammy Hall of Fame. Blueberry Hill, Fats Domino, 1956. Turning to 10, Buddy Holly's 1957 rock and roll classic Peggy Sue is a song that almost didn't exist. Holly changed the title from Cindy Lou, his niece's name, to Peggy Sue after his drummer, Jerry Allison's girlfriend. Good call, because the catchy melody and Holly's distinctive vocal style made it an instant classic. Peggy Sue peaked at number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 after being recorded in Clovis, New Mexico, and produced by Norman Petty using innovative techniques. This track, ranked 194 on Rolling Stone's 500 Greatest Songs of All Time and a Grammy Hall of Famer, is still considered rock royalty. Peggy Sue, Buddy Holly, 1957. It's time for number 9, Fats Domino's Blueberry Hill, 1956's Sweetest Slice. Originally written in 1940, Domino's smooth, bluesy rendition propelled it to the top of the charts. His version, with that iconic piano and velvety vocals, powered Blueberry Hill to number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 and sold over 5 million copies. An impressive feat. The song became a symbol of love and longing, with the chorus stuck in your head like a favorite memory. Despite numerous covers, Fats' version remains the gold standard, cementing its place as a timeless classic in American music history. Ain't That a Shame, Fats Domino, 1955. At number 8, Fats Domino's Ain't That a Shame is a timeless 1955 hit. The song, which features smooth piano riffs and Domino's velvety vocals, laments a broken heart following the departure of a girlfriend. It debuted at number 1 on the R&B charts in 1955 and peaked at number 10 on the Billboard Hot 100, selling more than 1 million copies. Domino's laid-back yet infectious rhythm helped rock and roll gain mainstream popularity. Elvis Presley recorded a notable cover, but Domino's original remains a rock and roll classic, cementing its status as a timeless anthem of the 1950s. Maybelline, Chuck Berry, 1955. Turning to number 7, Chuck Berry's 1955 hit Maybelline is a game-changer in rock and roll. Inspired by the fiddle tune Ida Red, Berry wrote a fast-paced story about a man chasing his unfaithful girlfriend in her Cadillac while driving his V8 Ford. Despite 36 takes to perfect it, the final track, with its driving rhythm and iconic guitar riffs, shot to number 1 on the R&B charts and 5th on the Billboard Hot 100. Berry's clever lyrics and groundbreaking guitar work cemented its place in rock history, bridging racial divides and paving the way for future rock and roll greatness. Heartbreak Hotel, Elvis Presley, 1956. At number 6, Elvis Presley's 1956 classic Heartbreak Hotel perfectly captures the raw emotion of the time. This song, released in January and co-written by Presley, Mae Boren Axton, and Tommy Durden, digs into the depths of heartbreak with haunting melodies and emotional lyrics. It quickly rose to the top of the Billboard Hot 100 and R&B charts, where it remained for 8 weeks and sold over 1 million copies. With its echoing guitar riffs and Elvis's powerful vocals, Heartbreak Hotel not only cemented Presley's status as the king of rock and roll, but also signaled a watershed moment in rock music. Shake, Rattle, and Roll, Bill Haley and His Comets, 1954. Turning to number 5, Shake, Rattle, and Roll by Bill Haley and His Comets is a 1954 rock and roll classic. Originally recorded by Big Joe Turner, Haley's version elevated the song with energetic saxophone riffs and a dynamic beat. It debuted at number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100 and remained in the top 40 for an impressive 27 weeks after being released in August. This song combined rhythm and blues with rock and roll, making it a dance floor favorite and paving the way for future rock acts. Its infectious rhythm and cheeky lyrics keep it a timeless classic that gets everyone shaking and rattling. Rock and roll music. Chuck Berry, 1957. At number 4, Chuck Berry's 1957 hit Rock and Roll Music is a genre-defining anthem that celebrates the essence of rock and roll. The track, which was released in May, features Berry's electrifying guitar riffs and infectious rhythm, perfectly capturing the excitement of the genre. With lyrics that praise rock and roll's ability to get people dancing, it quickly rose to number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100 and topped the R&B charts. Its influence lasted far beyond its initial success, inspiring countless covers, including a memorable one by the Beatles. It was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame in 1986 and is still considered a rock and roll classic. Jailhouse Rock, Elvis Presley, 1957. Landing at number 3, Elvis Presley's Jailhouse Rock was released on September 24, 1957, as the lead single from his film of the same title. Written by Jerry Lieber and Mike Stoller, the song has a driving beat and catchy lyrics about a prisoner's desire for freedom. With the unforgettable chorus, "Let's rock, everybody, let's rock," it spent 7 weeks at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and topped charts around the world. This song, certified 2 times platinum, is recognized by the Grammy Hall of Fame and included in Rolling Stone's list of the 500 greatest songs. Tutti Frutti, Little Richard, 1955. Little Richard's 1955 single, Tutti Frutti, is a firecracker of rock and roll exuberance, coming in at number 2. With its infectious beat and electrifying vocals from Little Richard, this song is a celebration of life and love wrapped in playful gibberish. Released in November 1955, it quickly rose to number 17 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 2 on the R&B chart. Its infectious rhythm and Richard's dynamic style helped it sell more than 1 million copies. Tutti Frutti, influencing countless artists, inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame in 1986. Hound Dog, Elvis Presley, 1956. Topping our list at number 1 is Elvis Presley's Hound Dog, released on July 13, 1956. Though it was originally recorded by Big Mama Thornton in 1952, Presley's version elevated it to a high-octane anthem with defiant lyrics and a powerful beat. The song topped the Billboard Hot 100 for an incredible 11 weeks, as well as the country and R&B charts. It sold around 10 million copies worldwide, cementing Presley's status as the king of rock and roll. Its iconic performance on The Milton Berle Show cemented its legendary status. Thanks for hanging out and rocking with us. If these classics made you want to dance like it's 1959, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe for more vintage vibes and hit the bell icon so you never miss out on our retro jams. Keep on groovin' and see you next time.